welcome to Legal Affairs. My name is Diamond Liddy, and I'm the public defender of the 19th Judicial Circuit. We are going to be talking about, what else? Children. And we have a wonderful guest. Her name is Irene Caldwell, and she is with C.A.S.T.L.E. And what does the acronym stand for, Irene? You don't know? Oh my God, that's all right. That's all right. She's with C.A.S.T.L.E. Everyone knows what C.A.S.T.L.E. is and what it's about. And she is actually the program manager for group services. Welcome.
Thank you.
How long have you been with C.A.S.T.L.E.?
I started with C.A.S.T.L.E. this summer, and I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, great. No, we're going to be talking about all kinds of things. Where did you come from? What's your background?
My background was I was a therapist in Chicago. A company moved my husband down here, so I thought I would come down and take it easy for a while. And accidentally bumped into an ad for a facilitator. The more I read about C.A.S.T.L.E., the more excited I became. I met the executive director, Teresa, and I was hooked. Yeah. Absolutely sold. So
since the summer, you've been the program manager?
That's correct.
Let's back up a little bit. Well, wait a minute. So you came from Chicago. What is your background? I mean,
My passion is helping people. I was a counselor. I was a clinical services director at a behavioral health hospital. I worked as a legal advocate in domestic violence, and I've always been focused on helping families shift and improve.
Okay. Okay. And that's basically what C.A.S.T.L.E. does. Yeah. Okay.
That's why I got so excited.
Yeah. Okay. Talk about, let's start with the basics. Everyone has heard of C.A.S.T.L.E. One question I had, are they in the circuit, the 4 counties, or just St. Lucie County, or what?
Actually, we cover all 4 counties.
Okay. So
the Treasure Coast and Okeechobee.
Okay. So you're in the 19th Judicial Circuit. Okay. And why would someone need C.A.S.T.L.E., Irene?
Anytime we bump into a challenge as a parent, and if you think about how much parenting has changed even from 15 years ago with social media, all the peer pressures, anytime someone has a challenge, we're there to help. Whether it be through dealing with a difficulty with an adolescent, or just getting some basics on how do I do this, or maybe the student or the child has gotten in trouble at school, we're here.
Okay. Do they just call you? Do they walk through your doors? How do they obtain services?
They can just give us a call. We get many of our referrals through the courts, through DCF.
Right.
A lot of times now the churches are starting to know who we are and what we offer, so we're partnering with some churches to provide our services to their parishioners so we can be that extra arm.
How long has C.A.S.T.L.E. been in existence?
About over 35 years.
Yeah.
And you know, and what's so wonderful for me to see is that, it started off as being known for the people that prevent domestic violence through education. And that's actually what the C.A.S.T.L.E. acronym is. I just don't have all the details.
Right. No.
But it's really about that, and I'm sure you've seen our flags on Midway that represent the children that we weren't able to help. And so we want to help all parents break away from that difficult time. And we've helped everything from adolescents learning how to cope with difficult peer pressure and bullying through we have group services that we offer help for children that are struggling with their parents separating, either through divorce, deployment, displacement, or incarceration. So there's a lot that we do to help in many different circumstances, whether it be in the home or through groups.
So you're not only helping children, you're helping parents as well.
Very much so.
Okay.
Yeah, we're helping educate them.
Do you have group and individual counseling for the parents as well as the children?
Yes, as long as as long as the child is involved, we help the parents, because if we can help the parents know what to do and respond differently, then everybody works out better.
Okay. Now you do actually get referrals from the court system, so judges, etc., as part of and we don't want to get too technical or legal, but there is something that we all know is a dependency action where children are in court because they've been abused or neglected. And sometimes, I guess it's those situations, correct, Irene, that the court will say, okay, mom and dad, you're not doing things right, you're not good parents, you need some training, you need some help, and will court order C.A.S.T.L.E or some of your programs, correct?
Absolutely. We wouldn't exist without the court support, so we're so grateful that we're having this opportunity to make ourselves more aware through the community.
Well, you know, it's funny though. You know, having been here for 100 years, it just, you know, I've always known C.A.S.T.L.E. You know, I knew Teresa. You know, she's been at the helm for 35 years, and it's just expanded and gotten bigger and better, and you know, you know, it's a household word, if you will, to me, but I can see where, and that's why, you know, I talk on the show often that it's a shame that sometimes such great services that are offered, such as C.A.S.T.L.E services, are unknown to the people who need it most, and that's why, you know, the TV shows, you know, and you getting out in the community as you have is so great, so people know you exist and can help them. Let's start with the group services, because you oversee that, correct?
That's correct.
How many group services do you have, and tell us a little bit about them.
Certainly. Let me just walk through a list of them.
Okay,
the first
please.
one is our Strengthening Families. It's
Right.
the highest rated evidence-based program available in the nation. We purchased it. We worked together with a Dr. Comfort in Utah that founded it.
Right.
We're the only organization that offers it in the 4 counties now. And
I did not know that.
Yeah, we're the only ones. It's a 10-week program. It's absolutely free. We have dinner. We bring the families together for dinner. That's free. We have an education session that we break them apart, parents, teens, children, and babysitting, so that we can service the whole family, give them education, and then we bring everybody back together for learning. And it's so cute. We have this 6-year-old. I'll give you just an example. We thought she was kind of bubbly and excited and really not paying attention. And so everybody had their learnings. We brought them back together at dinner, and you know, we're sitting down and they're doing this family exercise, and her mom says, "Oh, honey, you always do this." And she looks at her and says, "Mommy, that's a communication boulder, and we don't use those. They aren't effective." It was so adorable. And so we know that if we give education to the children and the parents and give them responsibilities, they just all flourish, because it's fun, it's happy, it's about bonding, and it's about boundaries. And to see a teenager come back and say, "I know there's boundaries and there's a healthy reason for them, and I've taught my parents what I need in the boundaries, and we're all good." So it's wonderful. So that's our...
Okay, and I'm not going to, I know you're going to go through all of them, but just to interrupt for a second, do you have parents, let's say, I mean, we've all had times, no matter how great of parents we are, and we all, you know, learn, you know, it was on-the-job training, as all of us know. No matter how wonderful your relationship with your child was, or how unbumpy the road was as your child grew, there's not a parent on the face of the earth that can say, "I've never had a day with my child that I just didn't say, 'Oh my God, I'm beside myself. I don't know what to do,'" you know. But you know, luckily for some parents, it's few and far between. But are there actual parents that just throw up their hands one day and just come to your door and say, "I just don't know what to do anymore, and I need some direction"? I mean, just not on a critical, awful level where they've beaten their child to a pulp, or, I mean, you know what I'm saying. I mean, serious things, but just exasperated. I mean, and just...
all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Or they have a nagging sensation that there's something that they're doing
that's wrong.
Is off.
Yeah.
And you know, we're raised how our parents raised us, and it's a very different world.
Yeah.
You know, I tell my son, "Sorry, honey, I didn't know any better."
Yeah.
You know,
right.
Because we're just kind of given these tools, and it's so ingrained in us.
Yeah.
As to how to respond. So it's great to have a little bit of outside education that's evidence-based, that says, here's a framework.
Yeah.
And here's, you know, teach yourself to calm in the moment and give yourself that little space before you respond.
Right.
And so we work heavily to teach those things. We teach about the brain. We teach so that it's a learning that helps the parents understand think about if somebody says, I'm not good as a parent, that strikes into our heart as I'm inadequate, I'm going to mess up this human being.
Right.
That's the way I would take it. And so if somebody said you need parenting, it's really scary, but we work to make it
there's not a parent on the face of the earth that doesn't need help in parenting. I don't care who you are, and I don't care how consummate a mother or father you are. Everyone can use direction and help in that arena, because there's no specific science for sure.
You're absolutely right.
But anyway, I interrupted you. Okay, go. Group 2.
So group 2 is our positive parenting, and that's a 3-week, 4-hour, 4 or 5 hours a day course on Saturdays that's designed to help meet the court needs.
Right.
So if somebody's lost custody, they can send them to us, and we'll work together and deliver that curriculum. And we have it in all 4 counties, and it's 3 Saturdays in a row. And if they miss one, we can catch up and and have them complete it in another group. So we have lots of opportunities to help meet the court requirements for that.
And where do you all meet? I mean, at the place on Midway Road?
We actually have 4 locations.
Okay.
For that group.
Okay.
In the first one, we have 6 locations. For the positive parenting, we have them at our Vero office, our Okeechobee office, our Midway office, and again in Martin County at our office in Jensen Beach. So, Stewart.
So most of these groups and training occur at the actual building for counties, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so go ahead. Group 3.
Okay, Group 3 is something that we're waiting for final approval on, and that is our Families First. It used to be called Families in Between, designed for parents that are going through a divorce. It's a 4-hour class designed to help keep children from being put in the middle of divorce. So we teach parents some skills.
I've heard. Yeah. Wait a minute. That's been around for a long time, right?
It has, but we took some time and updated it and updated all the modules and facilities. And so we're waiting for approval on that, and hopefully that'll come soon. And so you'll be seeing and hearing more about Families in Between, which is an updated curriculum.
Now, are these groups things that the court, I mean, I'm so myopic when it comes to, because of what I do, it's dependency, delinquency, criminal, blah, blah, blah. But there's other courts in the judicial system, such as divorce court. Mm-hmm. Are these groups and sessions that the court can order in a divorce case?
Absolutely.
Okay, and do they?
They do. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, they do. Well, we won't exist without good court referrals, so the more we get, the more we will up our services to serve.
And again, let's back up for a moment. The cost of these services?
Okay, so the first one, the group Strengthening Families, the 10-week, absolutely free. Dinner, babysitting, all included, free. Even transportation in St. Lucie County is free. So we'll remove all barriers to get families in here. The next one, the positive parenting, the court order, that is $100 for the 3-week session. Yet if there's a caseworker, DCF involved, the fee is covered. So that's what.
And DCF is?
The Department of Children and Family Services.
Okay, and I'm sorry, but
that's okay.
Yeah, and people, you and I know DCF, and it rolls off our tongue like nothing, but the viewers are like, what? What is that? So go ahead, I'm sorry.
Me that. That's all right. And Families First is a $50 one session. That's children that are in a divorce situation always feel they're stuck in the middle between mom and dad, and so we want to help give mom and dad skills so that they are aware of how they do that, and they have some other framework for doing it differently. And
do children go to that one too, or no? That's just for parents.
But what we do have for children is we have another program that's called High Hopes, and that's a $25 program. However, we've never turned a child away, and if there's subsidized lunching, there's no fee for it. And so High Hopes is something that we offer in the schools. And as soon as we get some students at a school together in the age group, we'll go out and we'll deliver a program to that school. And it's designed for a 10-week time frame to give children access to their feelings, some language around separation, and some skills to know how to say, this is mine and that's my mom and dad's.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And
No, go ahead.
And I had the privilege of bumping into a lady who came up and said, "Oh," she said, "I was a High Hopes kid." You know, she's about in her mid-20s, and she
Oh
said
my gosh.
that allowed me. She says, "I still remember to this day that my stomach hurt." And then as I learned through High Hopes how to say I'm angry and scared and sad,
Sure.
that my family is changing and breaking apart. Once I could do that, that helped my stomach feel better. And she says, I still to this day, you know, kind of remember my High Hopes training when things get difficult.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, it's
oh, yeah,
beautiful.
because it's such a traumatic time. Thank goodness we have all, you know, all of this.
Yes.
So you don't. So bottom line though is, even though I mean the cost is minimal. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
If they can't pay that, you're not turning them away.
Of course not.
Okay.
Not our children.
Now, where does your funding come?
Many of our programs are funded through the Children's Services Council.
Okay.
In the 4 different counties. United Way is a funder as well. And
Right.
then a large part of our funding also comes through donors. And we're
Private donors?
Private donors.
Yeah.
And they, you know, contribute and help us provide these services. So we're so grateful.
Okay, other than these group sessions, what else does C.A.S.T.L.E offer?
We offer private. We offer one-on-one. So we will send a parent educator into the home to work directly with the families to give them some skills on 1, 2, 3 magic, which is my former life as a therapist was kind of one of my Bibles to deal with children on how do you help them set boundaries and educate the family on how to deal with difficult behavior, or even how to deal with setting limits, because children want limits, and we want the parents and family to focus on having positive interactions opposed to only focusing on the negative behavior.
Yeah, it's so funny you mention that, because in the work I do, I see that so often. You know, parents hesitate to discipline, to set boundaries, to set limits. And that's pretty much one of the worst things they can do. But sometimes parents just need the reinforcement from someone to say, no, you can absolutely tell them they have to be home at 9, and and punish them if they don't, you know. But, you know, again, some of the basic things that we think maybe are basic, a lot of the parents don't know and need to be trained.
And a lot of parents didn't have really good positive role models themselves.
Oh, exactly.
So, you know, how do you teach something you've never experienced?
Exactly.
You know, if no one said no to me, or, you know, parents are somewhat biologically wired to focus on negative behavior to try to change it. You know, the mom had to grab the baby tiger, you know, or from the baby tiger and, you know, say, here, don't do that. So that's what we're biologically wired. So if that's the only thing you know to do is to focus on negative behaviors, you're missing the whole fun of having a child.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we want to shift that over, and we'll do that either in the home or through groups.
Okay, now, in the home services, what are we talking about cost for that?
There's no cost. It's
Really?
all free. Absolutely.
Well, okay. What about a wait list for these things?
We have parent educators that go and do all the different counties. We typically don't have a wait list. We work hard. Our parent educators work hard, and so it's not uncommon for us to get a call and the parent educator to be able to be out there the next day.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I mean,
our parent educators are fantastic human beings that are really devoted to make sure that the children and the families shift. And, you know, I've never seen a harder working group of folks that have their, you know, they just wear their children on the sleeve. Like, I want to help this family so much.
What is their background and training for this, though, Irene?
They're counselors, or they've had therapy background, human services, social worker background with a bachelor's degree.
I gotcha. Okay. And how long is this? A one session?
It's usually about 12 to 16.
Really?
Depending on what the family needs, because it's not just enough to go in and teach. You know, we have to have, consistency in helping the behavior shift. You know, for example, I was telling my husband, don't swear in the car, and, you know, giving him this big lecture, and then sure enough, somebody cut me off, and I swear, and he starts laughing, saying, hey, behavior lady. You know?
Yeah, right.
And so until we have that aha moment in ourselves, and that's what we want to have happen with the parents, so that they see the shift and feel how different it is to talk differently.
Right.
And that's why we need more than one session, usually along the way.
So usually it's once a week, I guess, for
once a
12
week.
weeks?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And do they graduate?
We honor them. We honor them and say how wonderful and great. And sometimes the families that we do the individual help with then come on to our groups program
To talk. Yeah.
and give a different.
Well, that should be
set
the
of skills.
best.
Yeah.
You know, that would be, you know, the best kind of training for those who need help or the ones that have been through it. Oh,
Yes.
absolutely. Okay, so I interrupted you again. Go ahead. It's all so exciting.
It is. You know, and you asked about our donors. And
Yes.
if I could talk, we also achieve much of our funding through our holiday gala. We have a Holiday Magic Gala that is on Saturday, November 18th. We would love to have you all come out and, you know, help and enjoy. It's a beautiful event. The Lexus dealership here in Fort Pierce is a proud sponsor, as well as Publix and many, many other businesses and organizations. The food is fantastic. There's, you know, there's an opportunity. We have a silent auction. We have bidding. We have beautiful trees that are decorated that you can say, oh, I want to buy that tree. And somebody will, it's, you know, through an auction, you buy it, and then somebody will come to your house and fluff it and put it in.
Oh, my gosh.
I know. So it's.
And that's coming up.
That's coming up.
Next Saturday.
Next Saturday, the 18th.
Okay.
At the Lexus. It's from 6:30 to 10:30. We have information on our website and on our Facebook page under C.A.S.T.L.E.
Okay, and how much is a ticket?
It's $125 a person.
Okay.
And all of the nicest thing is the proceeds go to the children.
Right.
You know, one of the reasons why I joined C.A.S.T.L.E. is this isn't one where, you know, half of the proceeds go to somebody's yacht.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, right.
you know, something else. You know, all of this goes back to fund and take care of our families so we can give them gifts and that. One of the trees that's being auctioned off is a toy tree. And so whoever helps bid on that, we will take all the toys and distribute them to families in need. So.
Oh, I see. It's actually not a tree. It's just a bunch of toys that will be given. Oh, that's.
Yes.
Oh, how cool is that? I didn't even know. Well, so do you not do the chili cook-off anymore?
We don't do the chili cook-off
Okay.
right now. We do the Holiday Magic.
Okay, so you've switched. Well,
We've
that's
switched.
good. That's good. No, you know, sometimes you beat to death something, so you have to, you know, change it up. So.
And the Holiday Magic also has beautiful jewelry that's donated that we auction off. Stunning, stunning pieces that would look pretty. I'm looking at you. I see one or two would look kind of nice on you.
No, that sounds wonderful.
And there's an opportunity. There's a Lexus that's being auctioned, a 2-year lease on a Lexus. So who wouldn't like a new car too?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, so give me, what else, what have we missed? What have we not talked about?
How much we depend on the community to give us referrals and how much we depend on the community to help us out. You know, without you sending referrals to us, we don't exist. So word of mouth is a huge part of our business. That somebody hears about our class or one of the children have gone through a program and a neighbor sees the difference. So please keep sending people your way and donations. And so think about as you're sitting around your table this Thanksgiving with your family and you have the beautiful food, and if you're like me, about a third of it's going to incidentally end up in the garbage can because you can't eat that much. And
right.
You know, anything that you do to help us, if you go get a $25 gift card and, you know, plug it into our website or drop it off or, you know, donate a few dollars on our Facebook page, that gives another family the chance to eat and to
Right.
celebrate their holiday that they wouldn't have without you doing that. So we're very dependent on that, and we thank you for this opportunity to talk with everybody because we'd love to help as many families as possible. There's such a high rate of poverty in our areas that we'd like to help serve.
Again, let's back up just a minute. I told you, it goes so fast. We're almost out of time, but there's some things I do want to clarify. Again, and I think, I don't know if we have the number, the 465-6011.
Perfect.
Okay, that's your main number.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that would be the number they would call if they want tickets to the gala, or
Yes.
or they could, of course, can go on the website or whatever, or if they need help or whatever. Let me ask you this: what about? Okay, you've talked about people wanting services or needing services or the court ordering services. What about if I see some parents or children that I think need your help, but they're not going to come to you? Do you ever reach out to a family?
Of course we do.
Okay, well, tell me about that.
Yes, we'll get calls from people that say, I know this family's in need, but they won't pick up the phone. I just know that about them. Would you mind giving them a call and just saying, hey, here's some things that we have to offer? And we will do it in a very soft, compassionate way to invite them in. So it feels like a special invitation opposed to a demand.
Right. Okay, and what, I mean, I'm just curious, what usually is the response to that? Do people, if they're referred by somebody else and you call, I mean, are people angry? Are they nasty to you? Do most people say, well, maybe I should come in? What's the percentage?
The percentages is that people, once we get them on the phone and they hear about our services, they get very excited. Again, because we normalize it and say, in this day and age, there's different ways that we have to interact with our children.
Right.
I didn't have to worry about my son accidentally seeing, porn on the internet at age 9.
No.
Things like that. And so that's what our children are exposed to. So we want to give some really good tools to parents to help them learn how to manage this all a little bit differently and have a stronger bond. Many of our I just can tell that our bonds have changed because growing up with myself and with my son, our playground was packed.
Right.
And you drive through so many areas and the playgrounds are empty. So that tells me that, big chunks of family time that used to be about bonding in the playground just don't exist. So
or they're playing. I mean, I know with my son growing up, I mean, that's when the video games were, in their infancy and stuff. And it was like, no, we don't play video games. We go outside and get in the sun and get in the dirt and all of that. And, it paid off, but that's part of it. I mean, they allow, I see so often, children, in the home, not necessarily sitting around and having a family meal and talking about their day, which they should be doing, but, again, playing a video game or being, instead of being outside and bonding, with their families, etc. Has there ever been a child that's called that said that I need help?
Not yet.
Not that you know of.
Not that I know of. But we have seen children say, my best friend. When they're in one of our classes, I'll say, my best friend Bobby needs to do something. Would you help that family? Really? And so, of course, we'll reach out to that family as well and, invite them in.
Wow. Yeah, I can imagine. Now that would be extraordinary. That would be great. Well, we've got less than a minute. We've got the gala coming up November 18th, correct? And 6:30. They can buy tickets on the internet. If a family needs help in any way, or a child, or a teacher, I'm sure the school system, I know they're educated about the help, but sometimes they miss the mark too. So teachers out there can call to get services as well.
Certainly.
Correct?
And in schools, if they know they have a number of families that are struggling, we'll even bring our Strengthening Families into the school and offer it for their families.
Oh, wow.
And so we will work hard with anybody in the community to bring services to them.
That's terrific. And keep up the good work. Good luck on your gala.
Thank you.
Thank you for all you do.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for this chance.
Thanks.